Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to math. My name is Mr. Rivera, if you still don't know my name, okay? Also, notice that you see my email address up here still, okay? Make sure you have it. Remember, this is where you submit your work. Also, this is where you submit all your questions you have about math, okay? So, hopefully you got in the habit of already having paper and pencil to write down all the notes. Remember, you're going to submit a picture of them with your assignment. So, the title of today's concept is called Midpoint Formula. All right, it's a specific formula we use to find a halfway point between 2 points. Okay, remember, last class we found the distance. Now we're only going to go halfway. So, let's start on today's concept. All right, guys, so remember, the title is called Midpoint Formula. The formula is M, which is midpoint, equals parentheses x1 plus x2 over 2, okay? Then we're going to have a little comma there. Then we're going to have y1 plus y2 over 2, and then close the parentheses. All right? So, I'm going to make these y's a little better because not looking at them, they look like fractions, right? So let's make sure they're y's. All right? So, now that we have the formula, it might look complicated, okay? Don't worry too much about it. Remember, we're going to work on it together. We're going to plug it in together, okay? But before we plug it in, I'm going to give you a little or a way to plug it in, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, all points have a set of coordinates, okay? Where it's located at. It has an x-axis and a y-axis, okay? Remember, whenever you have more than 1 point, you have one set, which is the first set, and then your other point is the second set. It really doesn't matter the order of which point goes first, as long as you have that set of coordinates, the x and the y. Label 1 for the first one, or for one of them, and then the other one is the second one. Notice how I have x1, y1, and then on the other set I have x2, y2, okay? Now, remember the formula for midpoint. We have x1 plus x2. All you really have to do is the first x from the first point, add it to the first x, or the x, the first number on the second point, okay? For the y's, you get the y from the first point and add it to the y of the second point, okay? We're going to work on it together. We're going to do an example together, but make sure you have this on your notes. Makes it a lot easier. If you need colored pencils to do it like I have it up here, makes it a lot easier for you guys to understand it. Makes it a lot easier, to see the pattern here. So, if you need more time, pause the video, write it down, and then resume the video once you have it down. All right, so our example for today is the first point is located at -3 and 3. Our second point is located at 5 and 3, okay? So we're trying to find the midpoint, right? Halfway between both points. So remember, the first thing to always do, okay? Makes it a lot easier for you to plug in, is label your coordinates, okay? So let's start off by labeling the first one. Remember, what goes first on your coordinate? Your x or your y? X, right? So we have x1, because remember, we have 2. x1, that means that this is y1, okay? Now we're going to go on to the second point, okay? So we have x2, y2. All right, because remember, this is the second set. Now that we have it labeled, makes it a lot easier to plug it into the equation. All right, so let's plug it into the equation. We have m equals, remember, m is midpoint. So m equals x1. Do you guys remember which one's x1? The first one, right? So we have -3. Remember, you have a plus sign plus x2. x2 is 5. Over, don't forget, you have it over 2, right? It's been divided by 2. So you have a 2, comma, and then we can start on the y point, right? Or the y. So we have y1, which in this case is 3, plus y2, which is another 3, right? Over 2, and then we close the parentheses. Now that we have it set up, we can actually solve for it, okay? So, let's combine the numbers. So we have -3 plus 5. So we have m equals the first set of parentheses, -3 plus 5, okay? Remember, you owe 3 to someone, okay? They give you 5. Now, you owe those 3, so you really only left with 2, right? 2 over, don't forget the 2, okay? Comma. Now we have 3 plus 3. Remember, 3, and then we add another 3. So that makes us 6, right? So we have 6 over 2, and then we close the parentheses. Can we reduce them? Yes, we can, right? 2 can go into 2 one time. Let's do another color. This way we don't get confused. So we have m equals 2 can go into 2 one time, right? So 1, comma, 2 can go into 6 how many times? Remember, we have 3 and then 3, right? We got, if we get down 2 from here, that's 1 pair. And then we get 2 down from here, that's 2 pairs. And then we have together 1 more pair, right? So we have 3 pairs. So 3. So wherever these 2 points meet halfway, it's at 1 and 3. So x and y. So if we were to graph these points, the first one and the second one, the halfway to them would be located at 1/3. Okay? So here's your assignment for today. All right, guys, your assignment for today is, notice that 2 points here, okay? The first thing you have to do is you have to label them. That's number 1. All right, so label the points. Number 2 is graph them. All right, and then the third one is find the midpoint. The third one is find the midpoint, okay? Find where those 2 points will meet halfway, okay? So, remember, send the assignment answers to my email address. Also, send a picture of your notes, and I'll be hearing from you soon.